It's been another historic week in America's most chaotic reality show retirement home, the White House, where Donald Trump, at 79 years old, just added a sign outside the Oval Office to remind himself what, and most importantly, where it is. Which means we've officially reached the labeling the furniture phase of his elderly presidency. The guy who has repeatedly bragged about passing a test that involved naming animals now apparently needs directions to the most famous room on Earth. His own office. Nothing says
stable genius
like needing a GPS to get to work inside your own house. And yes, this is real. The Oval Office is not only written in the tackiest gold cursive font you can imagine, but it's also printed on paper and taped to the wall. It's just the latest addition to the fool's gold makeover he's given the White House, paving over the Rose Garden to turn it into a McDonald's patio, installing his own presidential walk of fame, and destroying the East Wing and renovating the Lincoln bathroom, all before doing a single thing to help the American people. This tacky sign is just the latest example of Trump's brain being in visible decline. The guy's basically turned the West Wing into a memory care unit with cheap gold spray painted chandeliers. Seriously, the recent MRIs and physicals, the lost wandering in public, and now a sign to remember where he works, it's time to stop calling Joe Biden sleepy and start checking Dementia Don's dosage. If Biden had done this, Fox News would have broadcasted a 72-hour special called Signgate. Trump's cognitive decline got worse after Democrats destroyed him and his fascist regime in this week's special elections, all thanks to a toxic combo of failed Trumpian policies, broken promises, and America Last ideologies. So Trump went on a Truth Social bender yelling about the election, and then Gavin Newsom decided to twist the knife, mocking Trump's little Oval Office decor project with a new sign of his own that read, "Live, laugh, lose." And Gavin Newsom wasn't the only one to mock Trump's sign online. Many people did as well, like Obama spokesperson Patrick Rodenbush, who said, "Oh, this is very helpful. Otherwise, no one would have been able to figure out that the oval-shaped room is actually the Oval Office." Now, Trump responded to his party's embarrassing loss in the most logical way possible by blaming Democrats for his problems and then comparing Democrats to kamikaze pilots.
I've heard that about 4 times. I heard it after Kings, they said I was a king. And I heard it after Kings. I heard it after a couple of other moments in time. And I said, no, I don't believe so. And now I heard it's after the election. I don't believe so. I think they're kamikaze pilots. I just got back from Japan. I talked about the kamikaze pilots. I think these guys are kamikaze. They'll take down the country if they have to. So I don't think so.
First off, this is the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, next to Trump's second government shutdown, which, if you're following along at home, now makes it 3 shutdowns for the old senile guy. And second off, Trump calling Democrats kamikazes is pretty rich, coming from a guy whose entire administration has been one long suicide mission for American democracy. I mean, the economy's in a nosedive thanks to his moronic tariffs, which cost his party bigly in the special elections, and now he's dragging them down with him.
Take a look here. Voted for the Democratic nominee among Trump disapprovers. I got 2017, Trump's first term, and 2025 in New Jersey and Virginia. In 2017, among the Trump disapprovers, the Democratic nominees got 82% in New Jersey, 87% in Virginia. Come over to this side of the screen. If there is any idea that Republicans are going to be able to outrun Donald Trump's low approval ratings, this says, nah. They're going to be like impalas getting chased down in the African desert by a big lion. Look at this. 93% of Trump disapprovers voted for the Democratic nominee in New Jersey, and 92% voted for them in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. The bottom line is this. What those results on Tuesday night showed us is that Donald Trump is absolutely a drag on Republican candidates in New Jersey and Virginia, likely nationwide. If you are in a state where Donald Trump is underwater, you are in big, big trouble.
And speaking of things falling apart under Trump's watch, that's not just a metaphor. During a White House event about lowering the cost of obesity drugs, one of the guests literally fainted inside the Oval Office. Eli Lilly CEO David Ricks stopped mid-sentence as the man collapsed behind Trump's desk, and of course, Dr. Oz rushed in to help, which, if you've seen his track record, is not comforting. Because if Dr. Oz is your first responder, you're not about to get CPR, you're about to get sold vitamins in false hope. RFK Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, just bolts out of the room, which is always a reassuring sign. And then Trump just stood there to, quote-unquote, watch over the scene, which honestly is the most leadership he's shown all year. Who knows if Trump was having an episode and glitched out, or if it was just his apathetic approach towards others. Either way, this photo perfectly captures his lack of care for the American people. Now, the Dimension chief mentioned during his kamikaze rant that he just came back from Japan, and let me just say that his cognitive ability was in a tailspin for everyone to see.
I know a lot about these ships. I know a lot about these things, building I want to know, catapults, which is better, the electric or the steam? They're spending billions of dollars to build stupid electric. And the problem, when it breaks, you have to send up to MIT, get the most brilliant people in the world, fly them out. It's ridiculous. The steam, they said they can fix it with a hammer and a blowtorch. And it works just as well, if not better. And I love the sight of that beautiful steam pouring off that deck with the electric. You don't have that. I'm going to sign an executive order. When we build aircraft carriers, it's steam for the catapults. They spent $993 million on the catapults, trying to get them to work.
Trump's weird rant at the naval base in Japan caught the attention of late-night host and comedian Seth Meyers.
Guy spends more time thinking about catapults than Wile E. Coyote. Next, gonna start complaining about how our troops don't tie themselves to rockets anymore. We used to strap our soldiers to the rockets and they loved it. But then everything got woke and they said you can't tie a person to a rocket, but we miss those days and we're bringing them back. I'll try my best to explain the gist of what he's talking about in a new segment we're calling Seth Translates Trump to English. Aircraft carriers use catapults to help aircraft achieve takeoff speed quickly because they have such a short distance to accelerate. For decades, aircraft catapults used steam, which was costly and labor-intensive, but then the Navy upgraded to an electromagnetic launching system that no longer requires the elaborate system of steam piping necessary to power our catapults. The electromagnetic launching system also allows for smoother and more gradual acceleration, but Trump doesn't like that because he thinks, I don't know, electricity votes for Democrats or something, and he likes seeing the steam clouds from when the old catapults launched. Experts say it would cost billions to go back to the old system, but Trump thinks he knows more about aviation than everyone else because he dances like one of those guys that holds the signaling sticks on the runway.
Which then caused Trump's neurosyphilis-addled brain to spiral into a rant on Truth Social.
Saying, among other things, that I may be the least talented person to perform live in the history of television, calling me a deranged lunatic, and commenting that I talked endlessly about electric catapults on aircraft carriers.
Nothing screams not deranged like Rage posting about catapults. Holiday season is here, and let's be real, the kitchen is where it all goes down. Big roast, game day feast, endless sides, and all those holiday desserts. And if your current pans panic at high heat or burn the gravy, it's time for an upgrade. Enter HexClad, the cookware that's as serious about performance as you are about curving that holiday turkey. These pans give you the perfect sear, crazy durability, and easy cleanup without the babysitting. Stainless steel strength, toxin-free nonstick convenience, and yeah, they look damn good on the stovetop when the whole crew is over. HexClad's 6-piece and 12-piece sets are the ultimate gift for yourself or for the home chef in your life. Whether you're starting fresh or going big, these bundles cover every dish, every craving, and every holiday spread. Plus, every HexClad product comes with a lifetime warranty, so you're not just buying cookware, you're setting someone up for years of meals, memories, and celebrations. HexClad pans truly check every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They are metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. HexClad's patented laser-etched hexagonal steel ridges boost your searing power. These are the best pans you'll ever own. This season, don't just shop for gifts. Give the upgrade every kitchen deserves. Take 10% off at https://hexclad.com/Gabe and cook like a pro all holiday long. Treat yourself or give the gift of cookware that delivers for every meal, every gathering, every season. That's hexclad.com/Gabe. Support the show and let them know we sent you. Trump really needs to stop starting fights with comedians because it just doesn't end well for him.
You can say I'm untalented, you can say I'm deranged, but I'm not the one who talks endlessly about catapults on aircraft carriers. You're the one who talks endlessly about catapults on aircraft carriers.
The catapults, you know the catapult that throws the plane into the air? The catapult system, the catapult system, the catapult. Catapult it's called. So they have a catapult. Catapult. Right? The catapult system. The catapult system. Catapult. Steam catapult. Electric catapult. The catapult people. I'm the chief catapult. I'm a catapulter. The catapult. Catapults. All electric catapults. The catapult. Catapult system. You know the catapult. The catapult system. Catapult. The catapults. Catapults catapulted off the deck.
Until you said something, I didn't even know aircraft carriers had catapults. I'm not the talk about catapult guy. Just ask my friends. Friends are, how would I describe this to you? Okay, so they're like
They're like people who enjoy spending time with you independent of financial and legal favors you can grant them. So
Every time Trump whines and cries about this stuff, it just reminds people how thin-skinned he is and how comedians keep living rent-free in what's left of his frontal lobe.
a final thing, you wrote, I watched the show the other night for the first time in years, but just 10 months ago, you wrote, I got stuck watching Marble Mouth Myers. Haha. Very funny, by the way. I got stuck watching Marble Mouth Myers the other night, the first time in months. First of all, stuck. I find it hard to believe you let other people decide what to put on. Everything about your vibe screams, I call the clicker. Second. Which is it? You watched me for the first time in years this week, or you watched for the first time in months in January? Do you not remember? Is that how you end up posting 6 times about a new bathroom? You just forget the first 5 times? Tomorrow, by the way, I'm probably gonna wake up to a Trump post that says Seth Meyers won't stop talking about the White House bathroom. But also, like, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? He's not gonna watch 2 shows in a row.
Trump's defenders say the sign is harmless and just part of his style, but that's a tough sell when this is the same 79-year-old who just got an MRI and an extra cognitive test after routine concerns. The White House still hasn't explained the MRI, but it's not typically part of your physical unless your doctor says, Mr. President, can you point to the elephant? And he responds, I built it.
Why did President Trump get an MRI during his recent visit to Wall Street?
Look, as President Trump said, he would inquire with the physicians. I'll check back on that. But as the physical itself stated, Kristen, and as you all know, because you were all witness to it, every single day the president is in optimal physical health. This was a follow-up appointment, and we provided a detailed readout of that physical. I'm happy to give it to you again, and I can inquire further.
With all due respect, an MRI is a very specific procedure. It's done on a part of the body looking for something specific, so it's not generally part of any kind of routine checkup. And in addition, President Trump has said that he wants to be transparent. He told us to ask the doctors, which we have and have not heard back. Why don't we have more information on this?
As I said, I'll check back for you.
Trump has bragged for years about passing the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. You know, the one with the clock drawing and animal names.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test. Have her pass, like, the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, you know. When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
If you're the leader of the free world and your greatest academic achievement is knows what a camel looks like, maybe you should keep the nuclear codes away from Grandpa, especially since he wants to bring nuclear testing back. Experts have noticed that Trump's language skills have deteriorated. He used to speak in full sentences, and now it's like a teleprompter fell down a flight of stairs. The guy sounds like a Mad Lib written by a malfunctioning Roomba. For years, Trump has attacked his opponents' minds and intelligence, and now he seems to be losing his own. And when the President of the United States starts needing signs to remember where he is, that's not making America great. That's making America worried. Because this isn't just a man in decline. This is a man with nuclear codes running a government like it's a reality show in hospice care. Thanks for watching What Was That? If you want more articles, episodes, and breakdowns, go to whatwasthat.show. Join the community and become a paid subscriber today. It's just me behind the scenes, so every bit of support really makes a difference. And if you'd rather listen on the go, you can find What Was That on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?